beauty. Obviously, wisdom as well. And I did say I was going to try and fit this story in here somewhere. How we develop wisdom, because wisdom is also about cooperation as well. If ever there is a problem in your life, I said this again to someone earlier, please never think it's your problem. Please never think it's their problem. I've often said it's always our problem. We're in it together, and part of the beauty of the process is being able to share with people. We're going to work this out together. And even if it works out and comes to a good conclusion, wonderful, but that's not so important. The most important thing is we work together. Not that it's going to solve all our problems, but the real problem is that we don't work together. That's the problem. So if we learn how to work together, then we have this beautiful spiritual life. We don't feel so alone, and actually we're coming closer to the reality that we are all in this boat together. But this particular story is the story of a mouse. This was given to me in Penang, so every time I go overseas, don't think, oh, Ajahn Brahm's gone, he should stay home more often, because I get more material when I go overseas. Once there was a mouse living in a farmhouse, and he was a happy little mouse, reasonably well fed, because it's good to have a mouse in your house, because then you don't need vacuum cleaner, so the mouse can pick up all the bits and pieces. As long as the well-trained mouse, so it poos in the right place. But anyway, the farmer never liked the mouse. So one day the mouse was looking through a crack in the wall, and he saw the farmer unwrap a package. And when he saw what was inside the package, the mouse was terrified. The farmer had brought a mouse trap. And he was so upset, he went to see his friend the chicken. Farmer's bought a mouse trap. Farmer's bought a mouse trap. This is terrible. This is disastrous. And the chicken said, not my problem. Nothing to do with me. So it's your problem, mouse. Nick off. And so the mouse got no sympathy from the chicken. So he went to see his other friend, Mr. Pig. Mr. Pig, farmer's brought a mouse trap. This is terrible news. I don't know if I'm going to sleep tonight. I'm in danger. Mr. Pig said, nothing to do with me. Your problem. A mousetrap. You can't catch a pig in a mousetrap. Just bad luck. Off you go. So he was really upset with his friend, Mr. Pig. So he went to see Mrs. Cow. Mrs. Cow, please help. Farmer's brought a mousetrap, and I'm so afraid and paranoid now. Sometimes you're running around, you don't know what you're running on. I could get in that mousetrap and be killed. And Mrs. Cow said, well, must be your karma from a past life, but nothing to do with me. And he never got any sympathy from any of those animals. And so he went back terrified. And that night, a snake came into the farmhouse and caught its tail in the mousetrap. And when the farmer's wife came to see if she caught the mouse, the snake bit the farmer's wife. So the farmer's wife got very sick. And because she was very sick, the farmer thought, what's a good thing for sickness? Chicken soup. So you got it. They got the chicken, chopped off its head and boiled it to get some soup for the wife. Chicken lost its life. And of course, she never got better. When she died, before she died, all her relations started coming to visit to make sure she was okay. They had friends and relations visiting the house, and the poor farmer, he didn't know what to feed them. So he got the pig and slaughtered the pig and gave them sausages and bacon. So the pig lost its life too. And it doesn't matter just how much chicken soup they gave the wife, doesn't matter all the people visiting and farmers feeding the people, the poor lady died. And because she died, you all know how expensive funerals are. The farmer had to kill the cow and sell the meat to pay for the funeral. So in the end, chicken died, pig lost his life, cow got slaughtered because of the mouse trap. So it wasn't just the mouse's problem, it was everybody's problem. Which is the meaning of that story. Because sometimes we think, oh, it's not going to affect me. No, nothing to do with me, it's somebody else's problem. And the story says, no, it could be your problem too. So that's why we should always help each other, even though we think it's not going to affect us. Whether it's global warming, and I think actually our monasteries, Giji Ganap, Dhammasara monastery on top of a hill, Serpentine on top of a hill, even this place is actually quite high up, which is why we get good views. Global warming, rise of sea levels, Serpentine's going to be a beach monastery. I'm not worried. Nothing to do with me. You may think financial crisis. No, I've got enough money in investments. Nothing to do with me. Swine flu. I'm healthy. I'm okay. Nothing to do with me. Remember the story of the mouse, the pig, or the chicken, the pig and the cow. They never thought getting a mousetrap was anything to do with them, but it cost them their life. So that's why we are compassionate and wise.